In this video, I'm going to talk about extreme ethics. Ethics is one of those few areas in your life that you can really take to the extreme, and it will actually be beneficial for your career. So when I say extreme ethics, what I'm talking about is understanding your moral values and then taking them to the extreme. So that means taking your morals and then always following them. Now, so if your moral values include not lying, cheating, or stealing, that means you would never lie, cheat, or steal. So that sounds really simple, it's easy to say, but in practice, in your daily life, it actually becomes quite difficult. So this is something I've implemented in my own life. About 5 years ago, I made the decision I was never going to tell a lie, ever. This is something I thought a lot about. Honesty is really important to me. And so if that's the case, I really need to play that out in my life. And so that means not lying to your boss, not lying to your coworkers, not lying to your customers, and not lying to your family. And so I'm not just including lies in here, I'm also including white lies, little white lies. I'm including exaggerations. And so a white lie is those little harmless lies you tell to make people feel better about themselves. So for instance, if you told somebody you thought their outfit looked good one day and you actually didn't think that, that's a white lie. Exaggerations are when people come to you and over-dramatize a story they tell to get your attention. So those seem like harmless lies, little harmless things, but what they're actually doing is degrading your reputation for honesty. I mean, we all know those people in our life that they'll come up to you and they'll always tell you the story that's over-dramatized and exaggerated. And after a while of doing that, you just stop believing them. So if you really believe that honesty is important, you can develop a reputation for that by never lying and making this a commitment in your life. Now, I'm not saying that I'm perfect by any means, and I make mistakes just like everybody else. Sometimes I slip up, but I do think about this a lot, and I've made this a priority in my life. And because of that, I guarantee you I am better than a lot of other business people out there in this area who never think about this. One of the reasons for this is that our culture doesn't put a lot of importance in it. I don't know if you've noticed this, but there's a lot of people out there who lie a lot. They lie all the time like it's no big deal. And so if you can make this decision, you'll really stand out in your career. And just think about how this plays out. Imagine for a minute if you were the one person in your organization who had this reputation for always telling the truth. That's a very valuable thing. And it's not like something that you can do overnight. It takes years to develop this reputation. And so it becomes a real competitive advantage for you. And this is really hard to do. It takes practice because we're not taught to never lie ever. So the younger you can start working on this, to start practicing always telling the truth, the better off you're going to be in your career. Now, there is something that you have to be careful about here. Whenever you talk about ethics, you have to realize that there's different moral codes in different places around the world. And so that's something you have to be sensitive about. And I want to be clear here. I am not advocating ever forcing your ethics onto other people. We're not talking about being the ethics police here. And you never want to go around telling other people how they should act. That's not what I'm doing here. If lying is not in your moral code, that's how you choose to live your life. This is not about other people. This is about you. Forget everybody else. This is about you. And so this is about you sitting down and thinking, what is my moral code? What are my ethics? And what am I going to stand for in my career? Once you decide what that is and have been really thoughtful about it, it's about taking those ethics to the extreme. You decide what it is you're going to stand for, and then you implement that in your life. Ethics becomes difficult when you don't think about it beforehand. Because if you don't know what you stand for, opportunities will come up that will be difficult to work through. So let me give you an example. Let's say an opportunity came up for you to cheat on something that no one would ever find out about. Now, if you thought about that ahead of time, that you don't believe in cheating, that becomes a really simple decision. But if you haven't made that decision, it becomes very tempting. When in reality, cheating is a bad thing. Guys and girls out there, you should never cheat. It's never appropriate. That's just my opinion. But you need to sit down and think through that. What does it mean to you? And so if you've done that in advance, it becomes a very easy decision. So this is about understanding what your moral values are and then implementing them in your life to the extreme. Now, in the cutthroat world of business, I realize that not everybody agrees with me in this, and you have to be prepared for that. So if you agree with me or you disagree with me, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested. And if you liked this video, if it was helpful to you, click on the subscribe button down below. I release a new video every week on accounting and corporate finance, so come back and check out next week's video.